Hey you guys, so as promised, I am going to write out some causes and effects from the Roman Republic. So let's go over some cause and effect. So in 616, the Etruscans ruled over Rome. So the Etruscans were the neighbors to the Romans, and they had control over Rome to start with. Because they were neighbors and Rome was their colony, they were not in Rome to actually govern it. Instead, they had to kind of give that responsibility to someone else who actually lived in Rome. So by having these people ruling over Rome that are not the Etruscans, it created classes. So there are two main classes in ancient Rome. There's the patricians. They are the wealthy, and they also help the king, the Etruscan king. So they were the people who ended up helping the Etruscans rule over Rome. Everybody else was a part of the plebeian class, the plebeians. So everyone else was a part of the plebeians. In 509, the patricians thought to themselves, hey, we're already kind of ruling this place. Why are we working for the Etruscans? Why wouldn't we just overthrow the Etruscans and then have Rome for ourselves? So that's what they did. In 509 BCE, the patricians, we'll call them the Pats. So Pats equals patricians. Plebs equal plebeians. Okay? So the Pats overthrew the Etruscan kings. They decided they were going to have Rome for themselves. Why would they share with the Etruscan kings when they can have all the power? So this created a few things. The major thing was the republic. The idea of a republic was not new, but it was used here. So they went from a monarchy to trying to create a republic. They had to figure out how they wanted their society to be. So there were the rulers, the patricians. They were the ones who got to decide how this new republic was going to be. Remember, in Latin, pater, that means father. The patricians were the fathers of the state. They were the rulers. They were the leaders. Then we have our Senate. The patricians decided that they would have a governing body of 300 patrician men who would help make the decisions about the government. Not only would they vote and make decisions, but they would advise the consuls. A consul is a leader specifically of the army. These consuls were advised by the Senate. They were advised by the Senate. The patricians ruled over the plebs. The patricians ruled over the plebeians. So there is the first part of our early republic, when the republic was first created. Again, the Pats, the patricians, they had all the power when the republic was first created. As we move through, we're going to see that it changes throughout the republic's history. So the patricians ruled over the plebs. The plebs were not happy about that. They decided that they were going to rebel in 494. And they did this by going on strike. That's basically how they rebelled. That's basically how they rebelled. They decided that they just weren't going to work anymore. 95% of the population were plebs. So in order for this society to work, the plebeians need to work. So when they went on strike, work halted. Work and production halted. This might not seem like a big issue. However, what happens when farmers stop watering their crops? You don't have any food, right? So it's really important that workers keep on working, that the production and that everything doesn't just stop. That's how the plebeians got what they wanted. They used the power of protest and strikes to really kind of get this equality. So work was halted, and that the Pats didn't like that. So, in exchange for going back to work, for keeping society going, they gained more power. They gained more power. So, what are some examples of these powers that the plebs got? Let's go over that. So in 451, the 12 tables were written. So the 12 tables, that is the laws. Before these laws were written down in the 12 tables, Pats could pretty much do whatever they wanted. Their word was law. So these 12 tables really gave the plebs rights by saying that this is how the rules are going to be. This is how the laws are. You can't just make them up and make us follow them. Next, in 387, we have plebeians are allowed to have consuls. So they're allowed to have a say in the government, specifically in the army. Plebeians had to fight in the army. It was required. They didn't like that they had no say in whether they were at war, whether they should go to battle or not. So having this consul really gave them some more power. And then in 287, plebs can make laws for all citizens. So they can make laws not just for the plebs, not just for the poor people. They can make these laws for all, for even the patricians, even the rich and powerful people. They still have to follow these laws. So, again, the effect Plebs gain power. They gain more power. The Pats can't just do whatever they want anymore. They can't just do whatever they want. Finally, let's go over some things that Rome created in their republic that we still use and see today in our world, in U.S. society. So Rome had a bunch of things that still impact us today. They have a constitution, elected assemblies. So, for example, the Senate, citizenship, civic duties such as voting, paying taxes, etc. Checks of power. Not just one person makes these laws and decisions. There are many checks on people's power. It's not just one or one group. Other people get to have a say as well. And finally, the idea of republicanism. That you should rule for the good of the people. Not just the rulers, but for the good of the people as well. Just normal, everyday people. Our effect from Rome having all of those things. Europe and the U.S., we've adopted these principles, these ideas, and we incorporate them into our own government. Into our own government. So that is just a very quick review from class on these causes and effects.